Welcome, Tiffany Boyle, to Inspire Live Talks. How are you in LA?
We're doing well in LA. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for put this small talk into your busy schedule during American Film Market.
Of course, yeah. Happy to be here. How is it where you are?
We're preparing the festival. This year it's a big challenge because we try to do it also online, the best way we can. Thank you very much for accepting to participate in our jury for the category of First Zone Filmmakers for the Golden Aphrodite Awards. And thank you for being so efficient and give us the results.
Of course, yeah, it was really fun watching all of the movies, and you have a good crop. So thanks for letting me enjoy them.
I appreciate that. So Tiffany, how you have been this period of pandemic? Everything is well at home?
Yeah, thank you. You know, overall, we're very lucky, I think. I keep telling people the hardest part, and this is a very, you know, first world problem, but the hardest part has been teaching my kids through the social distance learning, because I was not meant to be a teacher, and that has been proven to me more and more and more. But, you know, we're lucky. We have our health, we have our home, and we have a good family. How about you?
During the pandemic, I tried to make a compost for my plants in my veranda. And I got the inspiration and the idea to establish this virtual platform, Inspire TV, giving an opportunity to independent filmmakers who participated in our festivals in the past or not, and they try to find distribution. They're not able to travel to Cannes or to American Film Market and to meet agents. So we give a step for them. We give them voice through our platform. There is no exclusivity. They can have their work there and be known and to do networking from there. And also maybe we get some profit for them as well.
Yeah, anything to help the filmmakers right now. It's definitely a new world for filmmaking, along with everything else.
Do you think so, that it's a new world for filmmaking?
I think that yes, I think, you know, people are still traditionally trying to figure out how to get content made, and I think there was already a lot of changes happening in the industry, as I'm sure you know, and this has kind of pushed a lot of that forward. I also think the shift specifically in the feature side is, you know, the most creative people who can work around scripts that have an ability to shoot in a pandemic are going to be ones that are going to do well if they can execute well, because there's just not like a ton getting made right now. I work at an entertainment law firm, and we were doing over 100 movies a year that we were involved in, and with the pandemic that significantly dropped. So luckily we're still busy, but at the same time, we always want more people to be in production and making content. And while there's more now than there was 3 months ago, we're still not even close to where we were. So anybody who can creatively make a quality project right now, I think is going to be doing really well mid to end of next year, hopefully.
Yeah. I understand, you will tell us more, that you are involved in the productions from the legal part of the production, or not?
Yeah, so I work in an
sometimes.
Yeah, so I work at an entertainment law firm, and we represent primarily producers, financiers, and a handful of writers and directors in film and television. And even though I'm not an attorney, I run the packaging and sales arm of the firm. So a lot of what I do is working, I can speak a lot of lawyer now. But I work a lot with their clients in getting them to the stages where when they need a lawyer, I ping that lawyer in to help them push it through and advise throughout that process and be involved throughout that process. So I kind of bookend both sides of that.
What are the elements that the project must have in order to be of your interest?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say that it's hard to answer because I have a film coming out on Friday, actually, called 𝘂𝗶𝗱𝗁 that I just found as a script from a writer that lives in Middle America 5 years ago. And there were no other attachments to it, but I fell in love with the script and I brought it to the producer and director and it kind of went from there. So I've taken everything from script stage to it's in post-production and now they want help finding distribution and everything in between. It's more about what is the content, what is the quality of the content, what are the expectations of the creators, and from there, do I feel like I have a path forward? Sorry, that doesn't really answer your question.
Yeah, it's general. It's a bit general. Yeah. I will make a more specific question. Are you more satisfied if a project has already acquired a part of the funds? And there is a minimum that you would like this project to get already because it comes to you. I mean, the 50%, we have heard about that many times.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful if it already has funds that I would say are more equity based, right? Because if you come to me with, I already have 30% of my budget and it's coming from a tax incentive, that's not as helpful as an equity. So I'd say at least 30 to 50% really helps push a needle forward even more. Again, it doesn't mean that I can't see things earlier and be helpful, but it is definitely helpful if you have 30 to 50% or more of the financing attached. And I'm much more focused on business-oriented packaging, so I'm not the one. I'll advise while you're casting and make sure you're casting people that are justifiable for your budget from a sales perspective. But I'm much more helpful from, who are their packaging elements like producers, co-production, co-fi, EP partners. And then I was a foreign sales agent, so I'll often help find US distribution or a foreign sales agent and advise in that as well.
All right, and do you, what is your opinion to part of the funding to be a loan from a bank?
What's my opinion?
In favor of that?
For me in particular, if somebody's
for the project.
I mean, I think that's always it's an interesting element to explore. I think it obviously if the bank has committed to it, it definitely validates the safety of the project a bit more because banks don't validate much. So, if you already have that kind of proof and ability to talk to the bank and they're saying they're doing X, Y, or Z, it can definitely be helpful.
Yeah. Usually, what is the percentage that the bank acquires for the project? From the project?
It can vary. It's definitely lower than like a traditional equity investor. It can vary. It's usually anywhere between like 5 to 12%-ish. And some of that's going to depend on who this, what they're banking against, right? Usually a bank doesn't usually bank without having collateral of some sort. So maybe you have a pre-sale in certain territories. It's going to depend on how comfortable they are with specific territories. Sometimes they might charge a little bit more if they're a little bit more nervous. So it varies.
Are you interested in series also, television series, or you are focused more on films?
We are interested in series. We just actually sold one to a network. We have another one we're packaging with 2 well-known actors. So it is something that, yes, it takes time. Series takes a long time, but we are into, yes.
You have worked already with very important personalities, I mean celebrities. How this happened and how do you feel about that? And at the end it was profitable, or what did you gain apart from money from this out of this
From working with
cooperation?
celebrities?
Yes, I see Mary Cackerman, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I think the thing about it depends obviously on the type of celebrity you're working with, and in particular with Mullen, Alec. I had very brief interaction with Alec. He was on set for 3 days, but he was a real professional, and he shows up. He even took like a slight tumble at one time during one of the scenes we did on that, and he did not care. He moved on, and everybody was very impressed with his work and his work ethic. And same with Mullen. I mean, she is a really happy spirit, and I think everybody really respected her on set and beyond. She's very involved. She brought a lot to the table. And if anybody, on Chick Fight right now, the movie comes out on Friday, and she's out there hustling and promoting the film, and everybody, there's only nice things that people have ever said about her. So it's been a really good experience in those ways. And that, we're lucky that, I think you're always lucky when you get a celebrity that also really cares about the content versus just the paycheck, because they do put in that extra effort, and they really show their value, and they bring a lot to the table. So in particular with those two, yes, we're very grateful.
Okay, thank you. And you like also to do co-productions with other countries. I think you work well with Canada, with Australia, right?
Yeah, I have a number of Australian clients, and we try and do as much as possible there. They also have a great tax incentive. So if you're able to take advantage of that and get a well-versed Australian producer, it can be really fruitful. They have really good crews. And so, we're always looking to do more there. I'd say also in the middle of the pandemic, right? It's much more difficult to shoot right now in the United States because we don't have insurance to cover if for some reason production shut down because of COVID. So a lot of filmmakers are starting to look outside of the US, or we're noticing a lot more productions that are going into production are outside of the US. So Australia, Canada, the UK, and even France has a nice program. And so we're noticing more. And I think we're opportunistic in the way that we're always trying to be involved in co-productions and find ways to make more content and good quality content.
Okay. Did you have ever the opportunity to work with European production companies? And what is your interest about that?
And what is my interest about? Yes, we have. So we worked in a fair amount with a company called Backup Films. They're based out of France. They actually financed and produced Still Alice and Cold in July and a number of other projects. We also have worked a lot with Memento Films, who did Call Me by Your Name. And so I can only speak super highly of our experiences in working across the ocean. We've had a number of clients that have shot films in the UK, like Hysteria, and worked with U Media and other UK filmmakers as well. So we've had really good experiences with European co-productions. It's harder, right? It's harder to get done because there's a lot more people and lots more parts of the world that you have to coordinate. But I also feel like it can make the production value look a lot better. It, obviously, like in terms of the government soft monies across Europe, and the tax incentives across Europe, they're much more interesting than what we get in the US. And it's always nice to be able to make something a bit more world sales interesting, right?
Exactly.
So I think that not every movie gets to that point, but it's really great when you're able to make it work.
Yeah. What about the projects that they don't have a known, award-winning already script writer or bankable talent in the cast? What What is your opinion about that? Would you be interested to examine, to study this possibility for a production, such a project?
Yeah, I think it's definitely harder if I'm helping raise financing for it. It just automatically is. It's unfortunately part of the way it works. But I have one actually that's looking to shoot in Greece in April that I fell in love with the script. And they want to do it for under $1 million, and but it just has this amazing filmmaker who has a real vision and shooting it in Greece. So I said, I'm going to come on board and try and help you find a way to get this done. So yes, I do that, but it takes the script being that amazing to make it something that you're going to spend that extra time on.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. You have your eyes and your heart opened to new work, to new talent. Yeah. And also it's a path to come to Europe and to Greece.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and I also think if you don't have your eyes and ears open to new talent, you're going to get stuck, you know what I mean? And how are you ever going to find the new talent and be able to work with the up and coming talent? I like to kind of explore that. So yeah, it's important.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. On behalf of all new talents. Yeah, because my experience up to now, going to Cannes and the American film market, is that they need these elements, financing and the bankable talent attached to the project in order to study the project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you have already worked with them in the past. So yeah, the door is opened for an opportunity.
Yeah.
To check over the project.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is hard. I agree with you. It's definitely, you can hit those walls. But that's where, again, for me, it's just so important that the script is really good because it's got to stand out.
And what an honor for our festival and the participants, the filmmakers who are first-on filmmakers, and they have already a contact with you. I mean, maybe not in person, but you have a flair of their spirit, their work. So maybe you like some of them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think you saw from my judging, there were a couple that I really liked in the list you sent me. There were some really good ones. So you have good taste too. You're picking good ones.
Thank you. Yeah, we try our best. We try our best, and the filmmakers trust us more and more, and send us very good films.
Yeah.
Tiffany, you look so young, and you have a family, children, child, at least one child.
Yes.
Why did you choose to enter this business? What is your background? What was your dream when you were growing up?
Yeah, I grew up in Utah. I don't know if everybody knows where Utah is. Yes, it's where Sundance for me. Yes, correct. I grew up about 45 minutes from where Sundance is. And my parents worked in a news station. So I grew up also always being kind of around a news station, and my stepdad did commercials. So I'd be around that a lot. And I just thought it was really cool. And then when I was in high school, they shot a lot of made-for-TV Disney movies at my high school. So I would intern for them and just fell in love with it. And so just kind of knew this is where I want to be. I also don't like the cold. So Los Angeles is where I want to be. And I fell into this job. It wasn't something, my job isn't something that exists very much. It's not a clear, I'm a producer, I'm a director, right? My job is a little unclear in that way, but I fell in love with what I'm doing and being able to work with new talent and filmmakers and finding scripts and content and having a say in how they're pushing forward. So I've been at the firm for over 11 years, and it's a female-run law firm, and we're growing, and when I started there, we were 4 people, and now we're about 30. So it's just been a really fun ride and experience. And I have, I get to have my family too. And it's really hard, I'm sure, as you know, as like a woman, it can be really hard to find a way to do it all. And sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing it all well, but I'm finding a way to do it all.
Yes, yes. And the most important is to enjoy, to have fun on what you do, right?
Yeah.
Then you can do even more if you have fun.
Exactly. You're totally right about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you travel a lot of Europe, a lot in the festivals and the markets before you were traveling, right?
Not as many as I would like to, but yes. Went to Cannes every year, so very bummed I couldn't this year. Was looking at, one of my films was looking at being in Venice this year, but they pushed because obviously with everything going on. So I've never been to Venice, really wanted to do that. And then go to Toronto and AFM every year, and sometimes Berlin. But outside of that, unfortunately, I haven't been to many other festivals in Europe. I think it's just hard with all the travel and back and forth and the kids and it all has to work out.
I understand.
But I would love to.
I understand. How old are your kids?
4 and 6, 2 boys.
Oh,
so they run me ragged. Yeah.
The
do you have kids?
Age.
Yeah. Do you have kids?
My son is 22.
Oh.
So
you don't look like you could have a 32-year-old son.
Thank you. 22. Yeah.
Oh, even still, 22, no.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and he studies the law also. But
nice.
now I feel more free after he went to the university. I felt more relaxed, and that time I studied filmmaking. When he went for his studies, I continue my studies in filmmaking and production, in film production. Apart from the festival, I do the festival for 15 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. So I know that you are very busy. I know how is American film market. What is the difference this year? It's easier for you because you do the meetings only online. It's not need to go to the hotels and
yes, I would say there's pros and cons to it, right? I think the pro is, in one sense, it's easier. I don't have to drive there. I don't have to spend all day there, where I'm there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and I'm exhausted at the end of the day in that way. So those are some of the pros. I think the cons really are, as I'm sure you feel, and probably many people do, there's just something about meeting somebody in person that changes the relationship you're building, and being able to either have a drink with them or a meal with them or just sit there and talk about life. When you're on a computer, it's okay, let's talk and let's get off, right? So some of those other interactions of just talking about daily life don't happen, where it's harder to build that connection. So I think that for me, that's the harder part of what's happening right now, and the big shift. But the good news is there's still business happening and people are really trying, and we got to give it up to the AFMs and the Cannes of the world, and even yourself, right? Like, you're all finding a way to make the best out of this situation, and that's all we can do. Yeah.
And we feel positive that this will change in the near future. I miss the meeting by chance after the normal meeting with the company, the agent, or the producer, and you meet them at a party afterwards, or
and it's fun. You never know where the day is going to lead you. We don't have that anymore.
Maybe. I think they do. In the festival, we're going to do some meetings. I mean, party meetings. Okay, and we're going to split bring some people in private rooms, to breakout rooms, how you call it, in order to get to know each other better.
Yes.
And by force. You are two in the room, so you have to speak.
You have to talk to each other, figure it out.
We will see. We will see how this will go.
That's great.
Okay, Tiffany, thank you so much. I don't know if you want to add something. It is a first meeting, a first approach with you.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, just thank you for having me. It's been really fun. And, you know, I appreciate all of it you're doing. Again, I think you found some really great filmmakers that you're showcasing. So congrats to you on all of that, especially in this crazy world. And, you know, looking forward to hearing the results and talking further.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more question. What is your idea about the different genres in cinema and also the territories? I mean, also in the festival, we have a big variation. There are European films, American films, Asian films.
Yes, I would say from a sales perspective, worldwide, right? The films that are still easiest to sell are genre, so that's horror, thriller, or action. I think in every particular territory, it has its own strong genre that it also has that's easier to sell, in particular in the US where we are at right now. And it would be interesting to see what you think, but comedy is doing well because people need levity and people need to feel happy and laugh. But the thing about comedy is it doesn't translate everywhere, right? Something I might find funny in the US is very US centric than something that might be funny in Greece, right? So it doesn't translate everywhere and it can still do really well worldwide, but it has to be a bit more of a broad comedy to sell. I think in terms of like the territory, films getting done in each territory in their own language, I think that it's really awesome. And what I also think that's really cool is because of these behemoth companies like Netflix and things like that, it's given an opportunity for those filmmakers to have their content seen worldwide, where before it might have been a lot more difficult. And like an example, which is really weird, is that my kids watch this cartoon from like Korea and they're obsessed with it, and it's totally subtitled and they love it. And you know, when I grew up, there was absolutely no possibility that I would have access to something like that. So I think that what is really great for filmmakers from other territories and how they're getting their content out there is that you have avenues in that way that you've never had before, and access that you've never had before to your general audience.
Yeah. What is your opinion about the children movies content you just mentioned? My opinion is that there is more violence in the children content.
I would agree with you. Raising two boys is definitely weird because sometimes things come up on like a show or a new show that we're trying that I'm like, oh gosh, why are we doing this? But I think that there's somewhat of responsibility that filmmakers have to their generations to come and trying to give the right messaging to the new generations versus just placating that they like to, you know, have superheroes that shoot things up or whatever. So I would have to tell you, yeah, I don't love it all the time. And sometimes we get stuck in little boy land where I can't take the little boy out of them. But it's also having the conversations with them that I have to have of this isn't okay and what they did on this isn't okay, and try and curb them to the right types of shows that we're able to find.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel that films are made only in order to sell video games, or video games are made in order to sell merchandise, and I don't know what else. Yeah, but there is a lot of violence in the.
I agree with you, and I think a lot. Yeah, and you know, there's so much of the superhero stuff right now, which in a lot of ways, if you look at like what happened with Chadwick Boseman and Black Panther and how it gave you know, the Black community feeling like they had a real voice, right, in some respects. I mean, I had a friend who said that when she found out Chadwick died, her son like cried for days. And the fact that like somebody can have that kind of impact on a little boy is really important. But it also means that, you know, I think a lot of those types of hero-based stories need to be, it's important to be careful about how you're showing violence and promoting that type of mindset. And it's definitely tricky. And I think you're right. It definitely is going more towards just looking at the finances of it versus what message are we telling our future generations?
Yeah. And from the other hand, there are films like Avatar who are wonderful for all ages and I think all nations. But so maybe you, the producers, should have more responsibility on what you choose to produce.
Well, I think that yeah, and I think there's some really nice stuff out there too, right? Like one of our clients does Puppy Dog Pals. I don't know if you've ever seen that on Disney, but you know, in Miles from Tomorrowland, and you know, there are really shows that help kids learn how to work with each other and be friends together, and they still are fun and they're in this adventure, and so there is really great content out there. It's just sometimes the pull of other kids with their friends at school talking about, you know, what happened with this person or this show that they love, it can be hard to curb it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you experienced that with your son.
Yes, I did a lot, and I was hiding DVDs and Xbox CDs because I said, it's not for your age. And what? You are going to kill the grandmother in order to get points. But yes, you are right. But growing up, I think it's the good for the children. What we owe to do as parents and adults is to give them several options and to be an example, what we follow, which path. So they have their choice. They can do their choice. Yeah, but it is what they see from the family, the environment, and be inspired to follow. I do this in the festival. I like that you liked the several genre stories of our selection. I try to focus on human rights, women empowerment, optimism, diversity, of course. And to give inspiration. If I can do that somehow. And it is amazing because after all these 15 years working in the festival, the people I meet, they are wonderful and they like each other. And after the festival, they continue to their connection, and I learn after years that they did a film together. I say, why you didn't tell me that? And they come, they send the new film. But now I feel also more responsible to do more for them. That's why we do this distribution platform for independent filmmakers, and to give them more connections to expand their work and their
I mean, I think the beautiful thing about festivals is building the community. And it sounds like you've been doing that, so that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, and also about women, both of us are women. When I became study filmmaking, and I started submitting my films to the festivals, I had so many no rejections. I said, okay, it's not for Oscar, but why so many no's? And that time I did I checked our content. I said, let's see how many films we have from female filmmakers and how many films from male filmmakers. And I realized it was 10%. also in our festival. And after I had the degree also 3 years ago, I said, no, we're going to check more women films. And I would like to have a balance in the selection. And the audience told me, Petra, the festival, the selection is great this year. What happened? I say, we have more female filmmakers or producers. Because I think this is great also, a female producer and the male director. It's a great combination too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the beauty of the past couple of years is it's really shed a light on bringing more, POC and minority people up front. And even if you still have a male director, like you said, having a female producer, other female talent that's involved to really help push it and give it that voice that it needs. So it's really great that you've recognized that too, because I think a lot of the time, you're in your own country going, is this happening in other areas? So it's really great that, we're seemingly a lot on the same page and trying to push that movement forward more.
Yeah, exactly. And this, I didn't think this by myself. I asked male directors who had female producers, and I see that they work again with them, and they say, no, I'm not going to change her. I love her. Because it takes care of everything. So in our festival, when we have the characteristic woman film, it is either a female filmmaker or female producer. We consider this also as a woman film.
Well, I think women are really great for producers because a lot of us are used to being moms.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether or not they've even been a mom before, it's just kind of built in. And so I think that that's effectively what making a movie kind of is. It's your baby, and you got to do everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly to get it done.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I agree with you. And if we like the vision of the filmmaker, and yes, why not? We will do our best for him to make his dream film real. Yeah. Very nice. What is your advice for the festival, or I don't know, for new filmmakers? What they can do to be more connected and to focus, maybe to be more educated? I don't know. What is your opinion, your advice?
I think that's a really good question. I think in some ways, one of the really good things to take advantage of the pandemic, the silver lining here, is that there's ways to access people now than you might not have ever had before. Like, for example, you would probably have looked for a jury member in Cyprus, right? I probably wouldn't be on your jury if the pandemic weren't happening right now. So there's ways to meet people that we never would have before. And I think that that is a brilliant thing to be able to take advantage of. I also think executives at other companies, while they have their own issues that they're trying to work out and figure out, they're more willing to answer and be in touch with people than before. So I think that there's a lot to be taken advantage of in terms of trying to target people that you've been wanting to meet for a long time, be that a company or a specific person, and trying to find a way in. I also think that while unfortunately we don't get to be face-to-face with a lot of people, we get to take advantage of more accessibility of other festivals and markets. I was talking to somebody from Stage 32 yesterday. I don't know if you've ever heard of that platform, but they support a lot of filmmakers, and they were saying that they're working with AFM, and AFM has more people signed up for AFM than ever. And it's probably because there's people that have access to it that were never able to go, and now they have a way to go. And I think that any filmmaker out there, you should be taking advantage of that, because you have access to these panels you wouldn't have been able to go to before. It costs maybe $100 to $200 versus thousands and thousands of dollars to go to AFM now, and you can get access to those panels that they plan and the feedback and a pulse on the industry. So I think take advantage of all of those things that are going on. See what's happening depending on what happens with Sundance is still bit more on the expensive side, but they might have some things that are cheaper than normal. What's going to happen with Berlin? I know South by Southwest is doing some really cool planning of things they're doing virtually. So taking advantage of a lot of those things is what I think would be my advice.
You are right. Thank you very much. Yes, for the motivation to look higher. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for your time and being with us. We will let you know who you will get the program, the festival program, and if you want to join us. This interview will be online during the festival.
Okay, great.
Yes. If you want to share some videos of your work, we can do that. I don't know if you have a reel or something.
You know what? I can send you a trailer of 𝘃𝗶𝗱𝗏 that's coming out this weekend, and I think it'll be up worldwide in like 90 days.
That's right, and dress him with your eyes. Peel off that spandex.
Stop, that's not what I'm doing.
His shorts are so tight, you can see that his little dude is also wearing a tiny bike helmet.
You okay? You seem upset.
Well, my business is in the toilet. I don't have insurance.
Oh.
I can barely pay my bills.
Oh, come on.
Today my car got repossessed. Other than that, I'm amazing.
It's time for you to come face to face with who you are and what you're capable of.
What is this place?
The answer to all your problems. Ta-da!
What the? Are you kidding me?
This is a shelter, a safe haven for women to come without societal judgment. Come on, Sarah McLachlan.
What you got, Lizzo?
You're up next, Rocky.
Are you gonna tap out?
What did tap out mean? Guessing I lost, huh?
Yeah, but at least you fought. You took a lot of courage.
It would take a miracle worker to help me.
I think I know just the guy.
That's who you want to train me? I want you to train me.
Train you to do what? Ride a bike?
I'm part of a fight club.
That sounds dangerous.
I am sick and tired of my demons getting the better of me, and I want to punch them square in the face.
I like you, Heidi.
Anna.
Okay,
Anna.
let's go with that.
You don't even hit like a girl. You hit like a cat that can't box.
Ow!
A place like that should be about real competition, real fighters.
She moves like Neo in the Matrix. I'm not afraid of you, Cobra Kai.
You better watch your back.
Yeah, well, you better watch your front parts.
This pretty face. You're gonna lose it. She's been holding back.
I'll see you in here tomorrow night. Heads up.
Let's go.
Walk away, Mom Jean.
These are tight.
That's it, and then we'll hit the bag.
You ready to leave?
This is crazy.
A fight club.
So
Thank you. Yes.
Amazon. So
Yes.
I'll send you the trailer for that.
Yes, of course, of course. Thank you so much. Yes, we will do that. We appreciate.
Great.
And I'm going to send you a project
Okay.
of mine.
Yeah, that'd be great. Please
Yeah.
do. And yeah, it was really lovely meeting you. Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. It's always awesome supporting women. And
Yes. I'm
looking
very
forward-
fond of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew the women in film and television in New York and Los Angeles. I was very inspired by them. And when the chapter came up in Greece, I was registered at once, and now we found the Women in Film and Television chapter in Cyprus.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, so maybe in the coming years we have a conference, a congress
Yeah, there
in
you
Cyprus
go.
or Greece. Yeah, I'm
It's
going
not
to
too
work
hard to
for
convince
that.
people to go there. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, Tiffany, thank you so much. I wish you
Thank you.
the best of luck Oh,
Pleasure. Same to you.
the best of luck, the best of health, and yeah, the best business ever this year. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Same to you. Bye.
Be inspired. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Thank you.